Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We are joined by Professor Andrei Alyokhin with University of Maine's Biology and Ecology Department. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me here.
So the topic of invasive species is a topic that's very, very important to the state of Maine because of how reliant we are on our natural resources, economically speaking. And so for folks who may not understand, there are non-native species and then there's a species that's invasive. So talk a little bit about what makes a species invasive.
Invasive species are the species that evolved somewhere else and then moved to a new location and became either environmental or economic pests or both, because their populations grew rapidly, expanded, and because they do something that we don't want them to do, such as eat crops or spread disease by people.
What makes them invasive is that they negatively impact their environment.
Yes, they are pests, and they are pests from somewhere else. Not every non-native species is invasive. Most of them either perish on the way or did not build up enough of numbers to cause a problem.
Okay. What are some of the most consequential invasive species currently infecting the state of Maine? I see here zebra mussels, the emerald ash borer, and a couple others. So what are some of the most impactful invasive species that we're dealing with here in Maine?
Well, zebra mussel is a big one. It's right on the border, and these mussels build up huge populations. They clog waterways, water intake pipes. They also filter out everything out of water, so there is nothing left to eat to other aquatic organisms, basically.
So they actually drain out the nutrients that other aquatic species would subsist on?
Yes.
Okay.
Then there is oak wilt, which is a fungus that kills oak trees. Okay. There is emerald ash borer, right, which kills ash trees, which are culturally important for Wabanaki nations. They're also ecologically important for our forests.
And they've been around a long time. They've been making quite a little trek, because we were talking about how I was in New York State for graduate school more than a decade ago, and they were impacting the environment there. And then I moved to Maine, and it wasn't that long, and all of a sudden I'm hearing about them here too. So they've been around for quite a while.
Yes, but they keep their march through the state. So right now they're quarantined in the southern areas, and then also in the north, where they came from, New Brunswick. So they keep spreading, but as much as we can slow that down, we should try doing that.
Let's talk about slowing down the march of these invasive species. How do we do that, and how are experts in Maine working to do that for these pests?
Well, everybody can contribute. We should realize that we probably cannot completely eradicate them or prevent them, not just emerald ash borer, invasive species in general. We also need to remember that the task is not to kill everything that's non-native, but to suppress pests.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can do more damage than good, say, by overusing pesticides.
Okay.
But invasive pests, just as any pest, can be managed, and everything can contribute. So just simple things: do not move firewood.
Okay.
Do not plant invasive ornamentals in your garden. Plant native native plants, not just trees. There are many pretty ones. Clean boats when moving them among inland bodies of water. If you see something suspicious, report it.
Okay.
Buy local if possible, or whenever possible.
Okay.
So, and educate yourself about what's going on. So, University of Maine Cooperative Extension has materials and events. Maine State Department of Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry has, again, materials and then events. MaineInvasive.org is a good website where you can find information and also potentially find ways to connect with other people who are either concerned or working on that.
Okay.
The University of Maine actually has a fairly robust research program working on various invasive.
Okay.
And then, if you're inclined, so you can buy my upcoming book
Okay.
on non-native species. Should be published on April 1 by Elsevier Academic Press.
All right. Well, congratulations on that. And
Thank
thank you
you
for coming in and sharing your knowledge with us and letting people know how they can help stop the spread of these species, because it's so important for people to play their role. We thank you for your time today, and folks, stay with us. Your full weather forecast is coming up.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.